Welcome to another edition of Dish It Out. As always, I'm Frank Benowitz, here with the one and only Chef Doug Fee, and our special guest today, joining us from Elements. The reason for his visit, we have some gloves on, you'll see what we're doing in a little bit. The reason for his visit is he was the winner of the best burger at the Burger Mania competition at Mercer County Park this past year. He's very excited to be with us. Look at that smile on his face.
Very excited.
Like Cher, he says he's known as Peterson. So have your burger outside by itself, Rooney. Peterson, Chef Peterson from Elements.
Wow, how do you follow that?
I don't know.
It's a really good burger, thank God.
That's better.
It was by far one of the best burgers I've had. We've been doing the judging at the contest for a few years now, and it's the best one to date. So I'm excited to see it done. And we have all our ingredients laid out here. If you wouldn't mind, Peterson, running through what we got in store for us here.
Right, okay. Well, it being fine dining, we were actually reluctant to start the burger in the first place. But when we did it, we were going to do it right. So we grind the meat first in-house, and I've done an example here. We've ground fatty short rib, at least 25, maybe 30% fat, which I cut with a little lean meat from some ribeye. Whatever cheese is currently coming from our local purveyors. So right now we've got garlic pepper jack from Cherry Grove, a bun that I made this morning, and garlic that I made the bacon that I made the other day. So just about everything that we're looking at was in-house, and on top of the burger, mayonnaise, and then a caramelized onion.
Outstanding. So where do we start?
We start with the meat that I took and smoked about a third of it. I took a third of it and dried it out a little in front of the fan. And then I took it and put it in the smoker, and you can see some of the pieces of meat are darker and smoked. And if you want to take a whiff,
that is smoky.
You can take a second whiff and a third.
That's nice. Can you smell that out there? Or
No, let's not go there.
Oh, no smell-o-vision talk today.
So we took a little bit and I smoked it and even left some of them on top of the coals, right above the coals. So it got that burned, fat, charred smell that you get on a grill, on a wood-fired grill, which we don't get because we actually do it in the restaurant on a flat top, which is a bigger version of this. Didn't taste anything. It lacked something when we did it on there because it didn't taste like a wood-fired grill. So we cheated and put the flavor into the meat itself. Then we're going to take it, and I'm going to ask you for some help. We're going to grind it through here, taking care to have it come out in these strings out of the holes in the grinder. I'm going to ask you to hold them in a line and put them down in a line as they came out.
Sounds like too much work.
We're going to try to make, you can do it, I believe in you. We're going to try to lay it out long ways and keep it running all together. So we have a much bigger grinder at the restaurant. I'm going to try to do what I can here. I'm going to put this over here.
Of it.
So just hold like this. Like I look like one of your Giants wide receivers there.
Do your best to catch it and keep
You
it
may actually hold on to it.
Exactly.
in its line.
No offense to the Giants. We'd love to have you here. Take one of our credit or non-credit classes in the off season.
That's right.
Oh, that's beautiful looking. It's like the Play-Doh factory.
Try to get up right close to it.
This is something, that's something that, that Peterson mentioned. That's something we try and show our students with the grain of the meat. You want those short grains. If you think of something like a corned beef, you get that stringy corned beef. You want those short grains so that it's a more tender product.
I can lay that down right there.
All right. Now this looks a little different from when I do it on the large grinder with my practiced hand at the restaurant. No offense.
Son of a... You guys insulting me. See
You'll get the idea. And once we get a couple handfuls of this on there, normally at the restaurant the log is going to be this long by the time I'm done.
My hand's not that steady because I was beating eggs all morning to make mayonnaise.
Go ahead.
Put
And
that
once
right
we get
next
these
to it
couple
like this.
handfuls, one more, and then we'll roll it up as an example, and we'll move on to the one I had prepared ahead of time.
Very
The
good.
thing is, with this log, I salted it very slightly, like 0.1% of the mass of the meat with salt to get it started so it will bind a little bit when it's ground. But it still needs, since we're not working it, it's not like a sausage that'll hold together on its own. It still needs to sit in the fridge and set up. So that one has been in the fridge. This one would need a few hours, but we're just going to do some TV magic.
We like TV magic.
Yes.
All right, so we ground that burger. We let it sit in the fridge for a few hours. Now it's stiff enough to hold its shape, although it is a little warm out here. Here. Take the knife, and 8 ounces or so is usually what we'll serve at the restaurant. This will be a little small. Since it's warmer, I'm having a little more trouble than I should. But there's the burger, which had the grain running this way. Now, when you bite it, it's going to break off very easily. And in fact, cooking it, it'll actually want to break off really easily. So we're going to be gentle.
That's a good sized burger. What would you say that was? It about 10, 12 ounces?
No, we're looking at this and
The one for me. I mean,
and the one for you, the 10 ouncer, about there. We'll get that in a minute.
It's still a nice sized burger. It's got to be about a half pound, right? Close to.
At least a half pound. And we think the size is important too. As much as sometimes you wind up being a little full at the end, the burger to have the right texture contrast from the top to the bottom to the middle, it really needs to be big enough. It'd be a shame to make it way too small. So
I'm not even touching that comment.
So plenty of salt. Again, I had a little bit of salt in the meat to begin with.
And will that salt help you form that crust that's on there? A little bit of extra sear on there?
It's going to help the sear. It's going to make it taste delicious. A lot of people are afraid to use salt, but we all probably understand that you need to use enough. And enough sometimes looks like a little too much to the layman.
But it's a big burger. That's why people go out to eat.
It's a big burger, and it's got to compensate for the whole entire middle, which I put a tiny bit of salt in, not at all detectable on the tongue, just to actually help the meat bind. A minute ago, I cooked the bacon up in this pan, and normally, again, we do it on the plancha, as it's called, the big flat top at the restaurant. So we would have the bacon, the burger, and the bun all in the same area, sharing each other's juices. Pardon me.
Pardon you for the sharing of juices, or because you need to slice the roll?
Slicing the roll.
Oh, very good.
So I'm going to get...
Now, it's always the potato roll made from scratch there? Is it ever brioche or any other type of roll?
Nope.
Always
the same thing. We have other bread items. In a couple cases, someone had an allergy to eggs, so we used English muffin, which was eggless.
Okay.
It was the same basic size and dimensions, so it worked.
That smells great.
Nice grill on the bun.
And you can already smell the smoke from the meat coming out.
Well, they can't, but we can.
But yeah, definitely that smell is delightful.
Right? And normally, and if I was making this for myself, ideally, and if you have the time, you could sit here flipping this burger, constantly flipping, as long as you're very careful not to break it open, is better than having it sit for minutes at a time on each side. It'll help it more evenly cook, rather than just totally cook one side and then have that other side be cold while the other side spends 3 minutes cooking.
Peterson's version of the rotisserie burger.
Oh, that
The
sounds
manual
good.
rotisserie burger.
Peterson!
So I'm going to need a pan to put this in.
A pan or a plate? How about a
pan
mouth? Would you like a mouth to put that in?
How about a plate? I'm going to take this plate.
That's a delightful plate.
All right.
This isn't going to be our final presentation. This is just a temporary resting spot, right?
This is a temporary resting spot and a demonstration of cooking the burger.
How'd you like that? That's some serious beef. That's right from the log.
The one that we did right before is right here, and it's awfully hot.
There's nothing awful about being hot. Oh my goodness. You need a serving plate
I
for
could
that?
probably use some place to put this. It's not going to burn.
Okay. Well, right here will work. Not that
That's good? All right.
Sure.
So we got the burger out. I had the caramelized onions on the pan with it to heat up in the oven. And the bacon we already have prepared. So we're going to construct the final burger.
Would you like your final plate?
Final plate. Okay, good.
Okay.
Actually, I had my beautiful assistant prepare.
Thank you.
I don't
My
think he
other
mentioned-
beautiful assistant, Pam,
Oh.
prepare the bun with the bacon and the cheese.
And
waiting to go.
Pam's gonna be joining us soon to prepare something. She's been doing her internship, and now she's employed by Elements. We're very proud of her. She's gonna be joining us in a little bit to make some dessert for this wonderful burger.
That's right. And I could probably be her assistant, if she'd like.
Let's turn the tables.
So the burger's out. It's hot. It's delicious. Onions on top of it. Very important to me, although not everyone would do it, is the mayonnaise that we talked about, the thick Hellmann's. Like I said, that sauce on the bottom. We wouldn't do it by default at the restaurant, but I would certainly suggest it. Sometimes I'll even do miso if I'm feeling saucy.
What else you need on that plate, Chef? You're
So the
going all
final
over
plating.
the place.
Burger presented with the cheese and the bacon and the onions and the mayonnaise that I love to put on there.
It looks like somebody got to your tater tots, because I know at Elements you guys give some more tater tots than that.
We would normally have a few more tots on the plate, but somebody put his hands in
You
there.
do have your hands in there.
Put their hands
You
in
know
there.
what?
surprised.
I'm telling you, for once I'm innocent.
Okay.
That wasn't me.
And Pam just
I always
seasoned
wait
this up
until we're done to eat.
and dressed the salad.
And what type of dressing is on that salad?
Sherry vinegar. Very simple, very easy, nothing special. We have other more complicated / possibly interesting salads at the restaurant. But this for the burger, we don't want to screw around. So nothing crazy. It's all about the burger
Exactly.
and just a little something to cleanse the palate afterwards.
And the burger is called.
The Peterson Burger.
Yes, it should be.
That's modesty, isn't it? Is that modesty? Chef, what should we call this award-winning burger? I'll name it after me.
I didn't ask for it, but I wasn't going to argue.
It's the Peterson. Bring me a burger, Rooney.
Well, it is one delicious burger, and we want to thank you for coming in and showing us how it was done.
No problem.
And you can enjoy it yourself. You go visit Peterson for lunch over at Elements.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to go that far, luckily for us.
Monday to Friday for lunch, and then Sunday for brunch. It's also starring on the menu,
Outstanding.
as far as I'm concerned.
This is like a Broadway show. I'm ready to yell, encore, encore.
I don't think we have the time for that.
That's only because he wants another
After the
burger. Stick around. We'll be back right after this.